All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Playmaker Pod. I'm your host, Isaac. This is Joseph. We're going to get started by going into some NBA action from Saturday night. We got the Golden State Warriors taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, and for some reason, the Warriors can't seem to do anything on the road. I don't know what it is about them, but they can't win a single game on the road. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I believe this is their 9th or 10th loss in a row on the road. So yeah, it's been a pretty bad double-digit loss to Memphis. Nobody really performed on Golden State's side. Curry only had 16 points. The leading scorer for the Golden State Warriors, Kuminga off the bench, 24. Even Jordan Poole had more points than everybody in the starting lineup. Nobody performed well for Golden State in the starting lineup. And they're really missing Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins out for personal reasons. They're really missing him right now. On Memphis' side, Jaren Jackson had 31. Led everybody in scoring in this game. Led the team in scoring. He was the best player on the court yesterday. Over Curry. Curry played horrendous. 31 points for Jaren Jackson. 7 rebounds. 3 assists. Desmond Bane had 26 points. Tyus Jones as well had a nice game. 13 points, 14 assists. Led the team in assists. Had a very nice game. Yeah, Luke Kennard almost had the same amount of points as Curry. So yeah, Curry just had a terrible game. You can't have that type of performance, especially when you're playing a team like Memphis. These two teams have a lot of beef with each other. So yeah, it's been a pretty tough schedule. Well, not really a tough schedule. It's just the Warriors can't win. They can't win against anybody, to be honest with you, on the road. So even with the Rockets game when they played each other, it was a pretty close game on the road. So yeah, it's like on the road they just play terrible. They have no defense as well. So yeah, I'm having a tough time to even I'm having a tough time to even believe at all that the Warriors are a championship contender at all. Like they have I can't even, like last year they were a championship. They obviously won the championship last year, but this year they haven't shown me anything to show that they're actually a true champion contender. But the only thing that's keeping them as a championship contender in some people's eyes, to be honest with you, is their name value. Because this year they have not been the same team as they were the last year, especially. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a bunch of name value with them at this point. They haven't been able to win any games on the road. Their defense has been pretty bad this entire year. And I'd say I can't see them beating any of the top teams in the West. They're probably going to be a lower seed this year. And that's obviously going to come with a reason. I'd say that whole Western Conference is not that big of a gap between each other. But could I really see them making it past Denver? Probably not. It's possible, but if they were to play Denver in the first round, I really don't see them winning.
Yeah, I'll
maybe if
Denver.
They were to play Sacramento, because of experience in the playoffs and all of that. Sacramento, it's their first time in the playoffs. None of their guys have really been in this moment. Golden State, I mean, they've been in this moment since 2015, 2014. So
yeah,
they'll be ready for it. The only thing is that I don't know. That would be a tough series, actually. Not Sacramento. Obviously, right now they're the better team. They've been winning games. They've been one of the best teams in the West all year. The only problem, though, I'd say, when it comes down to a potential series with them, it might just come down to playoff experience. Sacramento being a young team, this is their first time. But I'm sure they would really want to make a statement by beating the defending champs in their first year, actually doing something as a team.
Yeah. What is it called? It's getting really corny until Klay Thompson flaunts his rings or his championships every time they lose. Like in the playoffs, what are they going to do? They get bounced out by Memphis. Are they going to start talking about the rings after they're bounced out? Like, I'm confused. Like, it doesn't matter right now. Like, they have the championships. Like, games like this doesn't matter. Like what is Klay Thompson going to do? Is he going to start fucking flaunting his rings when they're fucking bounced out of the first round? Or what? He's going to talk about they get bounced out by Denver, he's going to show off his 4 championships or what? Is that what we're going to do? Because, like...
But I guess.
I'm kind of tired of it already. It's kind of corny, to be honest with you. Like...
Yeah, this is the same for everything right now.
Yeah, you can't do that for every fucking loss you take. They've been taking bad losses and they keep on just talking about their rings. So it's like... That's basically what LeBron could do. If he really wanted to, LeBron could just be like, "Oh yeah, I have 4 championships." So it doesn't really matter if the Lakers suck. So yeah.
Yeah, you never see LeBron going out and doing that though.
Yeah,
it's just the Warriors really who do that all the time.
Yeah. It's not even their best player that does it either. It's not even Curry that's doing it. It's like Klay Thompson's good, but it's not like I'm not saying he's not good, but it's like he can show off his rings, but it's just funny that it's not even Curry doing it. Like the guy who's leading the team, it's like the secondary option. Like he was the third option when Kevin Durant was there, and he's talking about. And it's just funny how he flaunts his rings after every loss they take. Like imagine if LeBron did that shit. If the Lakers suck this year, like they miss the playoffs, he's like, oh, it doesn't really matter to me. I have 4 championships. So,
he's got 4 championships.
Yeah, I really don't care that the Lakers suck. Yeah,
I got the record, everything. I'm like, he doesn't need to say that. He doesn't need to point it out. I'm pretty sure people can tell. I mean, it's LeBron. You try to say something about LeBron. I mean, they know it's LeBron. They don't got it. They're not going to be talking smack to him or anything. He doesn't need to go flaunt to get in everybody's face and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just corny to me, though. Like, it's corny. There's no other way to get around it. There's no reason for you to. I'm tired. It was fine the first time. They've done it. This is like their 6th time doing it. I'm already tired of this shit already.
The 6th time?
And Draymond said, let's see what happens in March. What are they going to do if they lose in March? Are they going to be like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. We beat us, but we have 4 meetings. So it's like, okay. I have to hear it for the 75th time already. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, bro, it doesn't even mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you got rings, you're proud of it, but I mean, come on, you can't just be falling back on it every time you take an L.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. All right, then, Memphis is keeping up without John Morant. So, yeah, it's been a pretty good stretch without John Morant. Yeah, they're one of the well-coached teams in the NBA still. They've been good without Jaws, their best player, but they've been good. They were good last year without him for a while, and they've been good this year as well. Even they're still missing Steven Adams and Brandon Clark right now, and they still performed well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive by Memphis, how they're able to keep afloat without their best player. They've been able to win some games. I'd say this wasn't even just like a small win either. It wasn't like they squeaked by like 2-3 points. Nah, they made a statement in this game. They really put their foot down, bro, and told the Warriors that, like, we're here. We don't care that John Morant isn't playing right now. We're still going to play, and we're still going to be better than you. Pretty much, that's what they told him. I mean, the Warriors had everybody pretty much except for Wiggins. They still had Curry only putting up like 14 points. I mean, as a superstar, really, I mean, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
And, man, the Warriors, I can't see the Warriors making it too far. Memphis, though, they do deserve props for this one because I'd say it's a team. To Memphis, it might be a rivalry. To Golden State, I mean, Curry always brings it up. It's not a rivalry. But, I mean, I think this game means a bit more to Memphis than it does to Golden State. So for them to go out there and get this win was I'd say it's very important for them. And I'd say they're really going to want to keep themselves afloat without John Morant. Just build some momentum heading into the playoffs. And then, who knows, maybe they'll end up seeing Golden State again. Whether it be like in the first round, maybe the Golden State gets lucky, makes it to round 2. But the best shot of that happening is probably a 2-7 matchup. Golden State and Memphis, and maybe Memphis could get their revenge from last time. Because I'd say last time John Morant was also missing in that series, and Memphis ended up losing. So now they get to show that they can beat Golden State even without John Morant.
All right, let's transition to the Eastern Conference, some of the bigger games from last night from the East. All right, we'll start off with Boston taking a 1-point loss to the Utah Jazz. Jason Tatum has been struggling ever since coming off the All-Star break. He won All-Star MVP, but he's not been playing like that. He's been struggling from the field. Another bad game. He had 15 points off 4 for 12 from the field. So, yeah, pretty bad game for him. Grant Williams and Jaylen Brown were really the leaders in scoring last night. Brown had 25. Grant Williams had 23. He was 7 for 12 from 3. Grant Williams had a good night. Yeah, but they really choked the lead in this game. They had a sizable lead. The Jazz came back and took this win. Larry Markkinen had a brilliant night for the Jazz. 28 points, led the team in scoring, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Olynyk even had a decent game. He had 13 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. And Walker Kessler, 13 points. 12 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. So, yeah. Yeah, it's another tough loss. I'm pretty sure the Boston Celtics are 5-5 in their last 10. It's been a tough stretch of games for Boston ever since coming back from All-Star break. They've really just been there. They haven't been. They're just there. They've been there for a while since All-Star break. So yeah. And now they got passed by Philadelphia, who we're going to talk about in a little bit. They got passed by Philadelphia in the standings. They're third seed now in the second seed. It's only one game difference, but still they've lost. They were a pretty sizable lead in front of Philly. Even they had a pretty decent lead over Milwaukee, too, at one point as a number one seed.
Both teams passed them.
Yeah.
It's been pretty rough for Boston these past few weeks ever since the All-Star game, bro. Like you said, Tatum won All-Star game MVP, and then ever since then, he kind of went declining, bro. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know how else to put it. Boston hasn't been the same since the All-Star break, and it's funny, right? Because it's pretty much the exact opposite of what happened last season. Season, Boston was pretty mid throughout like the first half of the season. They were all right. They weren't like horrible, but they were like a 60. I clearly remember they were not that great at the start of the season.
Yeah, no, they weren't. They started off pretty bad.
Yeah, and then once they hit the All-Star break, that's when they really hit their groove. That's when they really started moving, and they built up all the momentum all the way until they got to the 2 seed. So
yeah,
I'd say they're heading in opposite directions right now. They built kind of off their championship run from last year. They started off really hot, but then now I tell you, you're seeing the exact opposite effect of what happened last time, and now they're kind of starting to cool off at the wrong time. Like right now in March and April is the last time you want to start cooling off. You want to start hitting your peak at this point. Like they learned from last year. If they could hit their peak right now and they could hit the playoffs running, they're going to be a very difficult team to beat. But I'd say they can't. If they keep losing games like this, they're going to get beat by a team that is hot. You see what Philadelphia is doing right now. They won 8 in a row. They're getting hot. They're building confidence moving into the playoffs. You really want to play a team like that? If you don't really know what you're doing in the past and like in the last 2 months of the season, you don't want to run into that team. So for Boston, it's going to be very important for them moving forward that they get back to where they started the season off, back to where they were last year, building onto like finishing off the year and building for a championship run, preparing themselves for a championship run. Because right now what they're doing isn't going to get it done. They'll probably be a second round exit if they keep on doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a very dangerous team when they're playing at full capability. But right now they're not playing at full capability right now. So yeah, the playoffs. There's still like a month before the playoffs, so maybe Boston gets back on the track and they're ready for the playoffs. Still enough time for that to happen. But yeah, Boston just got passed by Philadelphia. So let's move on to Philadelphia's game. Philadelphia without James Harden and PJ Tucker, they blew out the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton didn't play, but this Pacers team without Tyrese Halliburton just beat the Milwaukee, who are the number one seed in the East. So yeah, can't underestimate them. So, but yeah, Philadelphia took a dub. Embiid having another crazy performance, just playing in 3 quarters, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in just 3 quarters. That just shows how good he's been this year. God. He's played a couple of his games in this 8-game winning streak. He's only played in 3 quarters because that's how dominant Philadelphia has as a team have been. So yeah, the Maxey as well, 31 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds. What is it called? Tobias Harris stepping in for Harden. While Harden being there, he stepped up, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Melton had a decent game, 60% from the field, 14 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 6 steals from Melton. It's a pretty good defensive performance for him. And for Indiana's side, Indiana had a couple of 20-point game performances. Aaron Nesmith had 25 points, leading the team in scoring. Andrew Nembhard, 22 points. And Miles Turner, 20 points. Miles Turner really didn't dominate the rebounds last night, but still a pretty decent performance, especially without Halliburton there. And they got 13 each from Jordan Nora and Buddy Hield. But yeah, Philadelphia's been on a roll. They play Chicago on Monday. So yeah, Embiid's leading the MVP race right now. He's been absolutely dominant. He plays Jokic again next Monday. It's going to be a pretty big, important game for Embiid if he wants to win MVP this year. But yeah, Phillies are really impressed me with how well they've played this year. They started off slow. They were 14-14 to start of the season. No, not 14-14. I forgot what they were. They were like 500 exactly. Start of the season. They started off pretty bad after 15 games. Yeah, then they got everybody back on track. Harden got finally back. He was out for like a month, and they came back in December. I believe since December, the 76ers are the number one offense in the NBA since Harden returned. So that shows how important Harden is. Maxey as well. They were without Maxey for a while, and Embiid was really by himself for a little bit there. But yeah, everybody's back fully healthy, and they've been rolling as of late. This is, I believe, their third win streak of 8 or more. Yeah, they've done this 3 times this season. So yeah, they've been able to be on these long winning streaks so far. They've had 3 of them already. They still haven't. This winning streak hasn't broken up yet, so yeah, they could still possibly continue it against the Bulls on Monday.
Yeah. The thing about this winning streak is that it could really extend for a solid amount. They got the Bulls coming up back to back. So, and Joseph had brought this up to me before the show, but Joel Embiid hasn't lost to the Bulls not one time in his career, bro. Like, not a single time has Joel Embiid taken a single L to the Bulls. So, I fully expect the Sixers to win these next 2 games, extend that win streak to 10 in a row. And then after that, you got the Suns and the Warriors. I believe it's Warriors and the Suns.
Yeah.
And yeah. So those are 2 winnable games too, especially with Kevin Durant being out for the Suns. If you could win those 2 games as well, you could extend that win streak to 12 games. And yeah, that'd be one of the most impressive streaks this season. I tell you, when you need it the most too, right? When you need it the most in March, and when you need it in April, this is when you want to start getting that momentum rolling. James Harden, yeah, he's been very nice for this team this season. It's a pretty like that trade for Harden and Ben Simmons is starting to look pretty bad for the Nets.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I think I could already say it's a fleece because it doesn't even seem like the Nets are playing him anymore. They don't play Ben Simmons practically anymore. It's like that's already like a.
He's been that bad.
Yeah, he's been that bad. He's off the bench now. When he does play, he plays on the bench. So they just giving up on him basically, essentially this year, at least this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to trade him the last season. They probably had to package him with like a first round pick because I don't think they have no pick actually. So it's more than likely he's staying. Unless they just take. The only way they could trade Ben Simmons is if they trade him for like a second. That's how low they probably go. Because it's like he's not valuable at all right now.
I think they would have to give up an asset in order to get him off the books because he's getting paid a pretty solid amount. I think.
Yeah.
For him to not do anything, yeah, I would have rather taken like that rest of the season with Harden. You know, let's see what KD, Kyrie, and Harden can do for the rest of the year. Just not even trade. You know, if Harden leaves, then he leaves. But, you know, at least give yourselves a shot this season. Maybe you can convince Harden to stay. But, goddamn, bro, with that Simmons return right now, it's starting to look like that was the worst thing Brooklyn could have done in that situation.
And I believe they traded for a first, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond's already gone, so he was basically useless. And Seth Curry's a free agent, so they might just lose him too. And I guess I had the first round pick on Ben Simmons, but it's like, yeah, Harden's way more valuable than that right now.
Yeah, right now for sure, bro. And I'd say they proved it the last season that they could have definitely won a ring if they had just kept all 3 of them together, kept all 3 of them healthy. They would have had a legitimate shot in the East, bro. And Ben Simmons, I guess what they thought they were going to get from Ben Simmons is completely different from what they actually ended up getting. But, yeah, I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. Reality is, I think they should have just ran it back. I mean, they should have just finished the year with the 3 of them on the same team and see where it got them. Because Ben Simmons is it.
They were hoping to get that All-NBA Ben Simmons with all the defensive first team Ben Simmons. They didn't get that. Like, he was not even aggressive to go to the paint anymore. He was just like, it seemed like he was just lost everything that he was essentially good at. He's still a good defender, solid. He's a good defender still. But it's just like, his playmaking wasn't as good as it was. Like, he had some games where he had 10 assists, but other games he had like 2 and like 6 turnovers. So it was like, and his points, there's games or there was stretches with Brooklyn when Kevin Durant and Kyrie were still there, when he was having like 5 straight games with like 2 points or less. So, not even getting into that double-digit range. And you're paying him max money. So yeah, you don't want to see that. Yeah, because if we were paying max money just to lead defenders, and a lot of defenders would just be getting paid max money right now. Like Pat Bev, Pat Bev is not a league defender, but you'd be getting paid a lot more money if you're just paying for defense. You'd be getting paid a lot more money. PJ Tucker would be even get. PJ Tucker's really still a solid defender, so it's like he would be getting paid a lot more money than he's getting paid like $8 million right now, $9 million. So it's like
Matisse Thybulle.
Matisse Thybulle would be way more valuable if you just want a guy that's going to play elite defense, because like he was already all NBA, he was all defense, first team already, I believe, in his career.
Yeah,
like 2 times. So it's like it's just tough for the Nets and Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I'll bet you the Nets are really frustrated with Simmons right now too.
Yeah,
because they couldn't even get him to play last year either. When they needed him, like in the playoffs, bro, when they were expecting this dude to play, this dude still didn't want to play. First, it's his mental issues, and it's his back problems. It's like, bro, this dude's pretty mentally soft, bro. I mean, let's keep it 100, bro. Like, I bet you the Nets are very, 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 very disappointed in what they got back in that trade. They got finessed so hard, bro. And at that point, I'd say Ben Simmons is more of a liability than he is an asset at this point, bro. Because now you got to give up assets just to get rid of them. So I'd say Harden walking for nothing might have been better than actually acquiring Ben Simmons, because he might just be a liability at this point.
Yeah, they might have to trade that first round pick that they got from Philly. They might have to trade that pick just to get rid of him. So they basically got nothing from the trade. They basically just got rid of Harden for nothing, essentially. Either way, if they trade Ben Simmons.
Yeah, exactly.
Ben's at least Harden's still, like, even when Harden, like, in another year, if Harden's still there, if Harden resigns to Philadelphia in another year, his points per game start going down. His points start going down and down. You still have an elite playmaker for at least a couple of years, because the playmaking's not going to go away. Essentially, that's way more worth it for the Sixers than just having, because Ben Simmons was not ever going to play for the Sixers again.
Yeah,
he showed up to practice with a phone. Like, they were talking about, he had a phone. He was on his phone at practice and all that stuff. It's like,
And Doc Rivers had to kick him out of practice.
Yeah. So it was essential. So either way, if Ben Simmons gets traded for nothing, the Sixers won this trade, more likely. So it's like, All right, then take it back to the Western Conference here for our final. Really, the only other interesting game that happened last night, Denver went to New York to Madison Square Garden. They took a 6-point loss. Yeah, New York been nice this season, 42-30 record. Nuggets have been 1-5 in their last 6, really struggling as of late. Jokic and Murray had 20. Jokic had 24, 10-8, almost triple double. Murray had 25, 4-6. I've been really watching that many of these Denver games, but from what I'm hearing from Denver fans is that Jokic is really not being as aggressive as he was earlier in the season. And that's one of the main factors of why they've been on this losing streak, or not really losing streak, but they've lost 5 out of their last 6. So it's kind of a losing streak. Only team that they've beaten is Detroit, and I don't even consider Detroit a real NBA team. So it's like
they're a G League team at this point, bro.
Yeah. And New York's big 3 all had 20 points or more. Brunson had 24, 5-2. Randall 27-4. RJ Barrett 21, 4-2. So the Knicks probably gonna their highest ceiling though is like a second round exit, but it's been a nice year for New York, especially after that bad year they had last year. Last year they had a bad year. After making the playoffs for the first time in a while, and after that, after this is good. It's good to have a year like this. Brunson, some people. I remember some people were saying that Brunson was a bad signing because he got paid a lot of money, but Brunson's been a nice pickup for the Knicks. So he's really gotten proven there.
Yeah, he's proven that he could be an elite player in this game. I mean, he kind of got overshadowed by Luka. He still showed his moments down at Dallas that he was a very great player. But now in New York, he gets to showcase it even more in front of the place where he grew up at. And I'd say he gets to be one of the top options in this team. There's not really a single face of this franchise right now. It's a whole bunch of good players that play as a team. I mean, there's Julius Randle, but I mean, he's not really the face of that team.
No, he's not.
So I'd say he's not going to get overshadowed like the way he was in Dallas. So yeah, it's really nice to see the Knicks actually having a good year right now.
Yeah.
That the risk that they took paid off, even though they didn't go like completely all in and then just trade for Donovan Mitchell. They were still able to make a drastic improvement this year, especially after the down year that they had last year. But what I really wanted to talk about is Denver, though. We keep on talking about Denver. And lately it hasn't been in a good way. They have been losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. And, bro, I'd say they were so lucky that they built up a sizable lead at the beginning of the year, because they would have fell all the way down to the play-in spot if they were losing like this and they were like a 3 seed or a 4 seed. They would have been a play-in team right now if they didn't build up such a sizable gap within the Western Conference. They're lucky that they're still at number 1, but now they got Sacramento and Memphis on their heels. So
Yeah.
they got to be watching out. They got to be really careful. I really don't know where the hell all this losing came from. Like they're slacking or what. But the West seems completely wide open right now. I feel like a few weeks ago you were able to say that Denver was the clear-cut favorites to come out of the West. And then all of a sudden, Phoenix comes out and makes a trade for KD. Dallas comes in, they bring in Kyrie. I'd tell you, Memphis is still doing good. The Lakers made a few moves. I'm not saying the Lakers are actually going to contend for the West, but you get what I mean. The West is wide open right now. And the team that you thought was a clear-cut favorite, they're proving that they're pretty vulnerable, especially right now. They are a pretty vulnerable team, and they can be beat by anybody in this conference. I wouldn't be surprised if I said I couldn't see the Warriors beating the Nuggets in the first round. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen, though, because I'd say there's no clear-cut favorites. The bottom of the West is just as stacked as the top of the West. And you could legitimately see like one of the lower seeds go on and make a run to the finals and represent the West, because that's the way the West has been this year. Denver, they really need to put their foot down on this conference, and now they're getting caught up too. So it's not a good look for them. And this is the last time you want it to happen too. They really need to get things rolling, because if not, Joker's going to end up losing his MVP to Embiid, and they might even lose their number 1 seed to the Kings too. So that'd be pretty embarrassing for the Nuggets if they just started off so hot and then just finished just completely crashing down.
Yeah. The only thing, Jokic's fans make me hate him even more because they bring up these stats I never even heard of. I was like, it looks like they're trying to do math equations on Twitter, man. I don't know what the fuck these stats are. I have no idea. Yeah, like, do you know what the stat? It was like points plus assists times assist, like / rebounds. I had no idea what that was. It was some weird number. I had no idea what that was. So I don't know what the fuck Jokic fans are even doing. That's the reason that makes me hate Jokic even more, just because of the fans, man. I don't know what the fuck these stats are. They're like really nerdy NBA stats. Like, I don't even know what the fuck they are. That's the problem I have. That's the only problem I have with the Jokic fans, though. Jokic fans make me hate him more.
Yeah, they just start bringing super advanced analytics stuff going in
I have
there.
no idea what the fuck they're even trying to do over there. So, yeah. That's why a lot of people are like, no, don't want Jokic to win either, because they hate Jokic's hands, man. Because I have no idea what these stats are. Because it's like,
oh boy,
yeah, like people make fun of him like that, man. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
I really think Jokic's fans need to do that, bro. Like, when Jokic was a number 1 seed and he was putting up a triple-double, that's all they needed, bro. That's all they needed. They don't need to bring up this super advanced analytics shit, bro, to try to plead his case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hate when they bring up the analytics stats, bro. That's fucking stupid to me. But yeah, right now Philadelphia has, I believe they have a better record because they have less losses than the Nets, than the Nuggets, I mean. They have a better record, and B's been delivering the last few weeks for the Sixers. So yeah. Yeah, the Nuggets need to get together. I understand the Nuggets' frustration, the fans' frustration with Jokic not being aggressive. That's not the type of player he is. If you're really wanting anybody to be more aggressive, it's probably Murray, because I've seen Murray a couple of games where he really struggles shooting. So yeah. Well, not even aggressive, because Murray's probably playing aggressive. He's just probably inefficient. So yeah. Just like, And the Nuggets defense as well. From the first half of the season to the second half of the season, there's a big drop off. So that's probably another reason why they've been a little worse here in the stretch of games. So actually, they've played some bad teams as well. So yeah, it's been Nuggets need to get their acts together, especially heading into playoffs. We were just talking about Boston struggling as well, and the Nuggets are struggling. You don't want to struggle going into the playoffs. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they actually just won earlier this morning against Brooklyn. Chill. I'm pretty sure they won. My phone is lagging though, but they damn near blew it though.
Yeah. Yeah, they won by 6.
They won by 6 points. Yeah. Okay, so this is solid, but I'd say they really need to get it together before they end up losing in the first round. They're going to be a 1 seed and lose in the first round. I don't know. Has it happened since Dallas lost to Golden State that time? 1 seed goes down to an 8.
Since. No, I don't think it's happened since.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, bros, to kind of take some attention off that 07 Dallas team, but
yeah.
Yeah, they're about to end up in that same spot, bro, if they don't get it together.
All right, we can talk about some of the real quick. We just talk about the box scores of some other games. Sacramento took a double with Washington, 132 to 118. Yeah, not much to say about Washington. Sacramento staying up there in the rankings. I believe they're second seed right now, so yeah, it's pretty good to stay up there. Sacramento, after all those bad years of basketball, after all those basketball years where they played terrible, bad basketball, they're finally back to being the top of the Western Conference.
Okay. I'm going to bring this up about Sacramento real quick. They haven't made the playoffs. Bro, I haven't been alive to witness the Kings go to the playoffs. Think about that. Me and you weren't alive the last time the Kings made the playoffs, bro. We've got our whole lives up until this point without the Kings being a playoff team, bro. Just think about that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, they made it 02, right? 02?
Yeah.
01? 02? Yeah, 02.
I believe it was 02, yeah.
Yeah, so
ever since then, bro, they haven't made a single playoff run. That's crazy, bro. I could imagine going my entire life, bro. Not even when I was 1 year old, bro, was I able to see the Kings go to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's crazy. Almost 21 years. Yeah, 21-year curse. Finally coming to an end. Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. Kings fans got to be dying for this, bro. There's some Kings fans our age that have never witnessed the Kings make the playoffs once in their entire life, bro. There's Kings fans our age that weren't even alive to ever witness it, bro. Not even as a 1 year old.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and this year they might be the second seed in the West. So yeah, it's pretty crazy turnaround right there. All right, then the next game, Chicago, Miami, 113 to 99 win for Chicago. Yeah, Miami. Both of these teams Miami's a higher seed right now. Still, they have a couple more wins than Chicago, so they're probably locked in for the play-in spot right now. Chicago's still fighting for that play-in spot, so yeah, Chicago keeps himself in the play-in right there. They're competing with another team right here. The next game, Toronto, Minnesota. Toronto and Chicago are both competing for play-in spots right here. Minnesota lost Anthony Edwards to an ankle sprain or ankle injury. They don't know how long he's going to be out. He might be out for the rest of the season, so it's tough for Minnesota because they're also trying to compete for a play-in in the West. So yeah, a couple of play-in teams right here. And Toronto competing with Chicago and Toronto. They're like 9 and 10, I believe, right now. So yeah, they're also competing to be in the play-in. Most of these teams are just competing to get bounced anyways, but the play-in was basically just invented though, so the NBA can be more competitive at the end of the season anyways. And I guess it's working. It's worked the last few years.
Teams actually have a shot now to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, something that's important. So yeah. Like Washington as well. Washington's competing for a play-in. I doubt they're going to get in, but they're competing as well. All right. Yeah. And then the final game, it was a Magic upset over the Clippers. Yeah, Paolo didn't play good this game. It was more of the guards. It was like Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, and Wendell Carter. They all played good. No Kawhi for the Clippers. No Norman Powell for the Clippers. But yeah, I believe the Clippers on a 4-game winning streak heading into this game. Yeah, it was a tough loss here against the Magic team. Probably should have won this game, even without Kawhi. I'm not taking the Magic for granted, but the Clippers competing for a playoff spot. It's tight over there. They probably needed this win. Took a loss here.
Certainly needed that win a lot more than the Magic did.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Magic are saying that they're competing for a play-in, but it's really unlikely that they get into the play-in because they're 4 games back behind the Bulls, So yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be unlikely this year. Orlando's probably more worried about like the future years with this team. They're not so much worried about right now. They should be more worried about like the next few years with Paulo and Cole Anthony and these guys because they got a solid foundation to build off of.
I have something to say. This is not anything about the games anymore. This is about Embiid and his MVP case. George Karl, though, you know who George Karl is, right? The head coach. He used to be the head coach of the Nuggets and everything. Those teams. Him and Gilbert Arenas are both shitting on Embiid saying that he takes plays off and that he's lazy. I've watched almost every single game, man. And it's fucking... it seems like they're not even watching Embiid play because Embiid does not take any plays off. He's like literally like the most... He's like... He goes try hard every fucking play of the game. Like, you want to talk about taking plays off? Jokic doesn't play any defense. So you want to talk about that? George Karl just pissed me off. I don't like shitting on Jokic. But you can't just shit on Embiid like that because I've seen these games. It just seems like George Karl doesn't even fucking watch the games. Because Gilbert Arenas either. Gilbert Arenas pissed me off too, man. Because if you actually watch these games, Embiid does not take plays off, man. He goes full tryhard. He wants... He's not going to say he wants MVP, but he definitely wants the MVP. He's not going to say it, but he definitely wants it. So he ain't taking no plays off. I've seen him play all these games on the defensive side. He gives all his effort. On the offense, obviously, he's the main guy on the offensive side as well. He gives his effort all the time. So George Karl and Gilbert Arenas, those are like garbage takes. Like garbage takes. So they're not watching that. I don't even know if they're watching these games or not because Embiid does not take plays off. That was just... Yeah. I'm not even saying a hot take either because the majority of the people that I saw on Twitter, they also agreed that they just don't watch basketball. I don't know what the fuck they're watching, to be honest with you. They're saying that about Embiid. That's all I wanted to bring that up because those were egregious takes to make about Embiid. Because he does not take plays off. That pissed me off.
Yeah, you watch the Sixers a lot more than I do, so I'm gonna pretty much agree with what you got to say about that. But I'd say for Embiid to be putting up the types of performances that he's been putting up night in and night out, bro, I mean I really can't see him be like taking plays off and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like he's that type of guy right now. He seems more motivated than ever, if I'm being honest, bro.
Yeah.
The type of performances he's having, bro, this dude really wants it, man. I can tell.
He's been putting up 30-plus point per game performances like in 3 quarters, where he doesn't even play in the fourth sometimes. So yeah, it's like
because they're beating their ass so bad, bro, that he doesn't have to. Yeah.
The only time this argument ever existed was in Embiid's first couple of years. In his first couple of years, he played very lazy, but now he's like way past that. Like the last 3 years, when he's been an MVP candidate, when he's finished runner-up, he has not been lazy at all. He's not taking plays off at all. So those are just egregious takes by George Karl and Gilbert Arenas. I don't even know what the fuck they're watching, to be honest with you. If that's what they're coming away from these games with. So yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it honestly doesn't make any sense, bro. That's tough, bro. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, it came out. George Karl said that in the morning today, and then Gilbert Arenas said it a couple of days ago. So yeah,
oh shit!
I'm pretty sure he released his MVP rankings, and I believe he had Embiid at 4, behind Jason Tatum,
4,
Giannis, and Embiid. It was either 4 or 3, but he had him low. So
4, bro. What?
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas is pretty. He is pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's watching. That's all I'm gonna say about Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
All right, well that really wraps up our recap of the games from Saturday night. So we're gonna talk about our preview for Monday. All right, first game we have Indiana heading on into Charlotte to face the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, did you see about Michael Jordan trying to sell the team? Well, he's like,
yeah, I saw that, but he's trying to sell his majority stake.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude he can't watch this team anymore. He can't watch this team anymore.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to sell his team, man. It's just been a pretty bad. All the draft picks, except for like LaMelo Ball. Like obviously, LaMelo Ball was like an easy, obvious pick to pick. Like Kemba Walker is like,
bro. Yeah,
Kemba Walker and LaMelo Ball probably the best players they picked. PJ Washington, they took Miles Bridges instead of taking Shai. So it's like they traded Shai to get Miles Bridges. And Miles Bridges isn't even in the league anymore. So, yeah, that was a pretty bad decision right there. And then Charlotte, they really haven't been able to find talent in free agency. They paid Gordon Hayward, but Gordon Hayward's not the same player he was when he was in Utah in his first couple years in Boston. He's not that same player anymore. Terry Rozier, all right. He's not anything special. So, yeah, it's just been pretty tough era,
And
the Michael Jordan era. Yeah.
Yeah, they pay him top tier money too, bro. It's not like they just pay him like, oh, okay, here you go, like an actual contract. No, they pay him like they're superstar players, bro. I don't know what the hell he's thinking sometimes. LaMelo Ball was a layup for them, but I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to keep him, if I'm being honest. Especially if they keep on performing as like the last in the West. I mean, last in the East.
Yeah, it would be like if they got the number 1 pick this year and they got Victor Wembanyama and you put them on Michael Jordan's fucking his draft picks. It's like, oh yeah, no shit, you're supposed to take Victor Wembanyama. It's not like yeah. Like the only other pick that you made that was decent, no, that was good, because it was Kemba Walker. That was it.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't.
He was coming off a crazy performance too in March Madness with UConn.
Yeah.
So.
That's probably his best pick because LaMelo Ball was too obvious. Like that was probably his best draft pick out of his whole era of drafting.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, let's get back to our preview here. So Indiana, I'm picking them over Charlotte pretty easily.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to pick Charlotte for anything right now. I mean, they were terrible with LaMelo Ball, and then you just take away the one good thing that they actually had going for them. So I don't really have any reason to go for Charlotte right now. I'm gonna take Indiana with this one.
All right, then Chicago and Philadelphia. Yeah, like we said earlier, Embiid hasn't lost to Chicago in his career when he's in the starting lineup for the 76ers. So yeah, I'm picking Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia is gonna keep up this winning streak. I really don't see it ending in these next 2 games against the Bulls. So yeah, I'll go with that.
And Minnesota's heading on to Madison Square Garden to play the New York Knicks. No Anthony Edwards still. No Towns. I'm going to pick the Knicks.
You got to go with New York. Yeah. I'd say they're in the Garden too. New York's been hot. They're coming off a big win. For sure. I feel like for sure it's got to be the Knicks. They're going to be the favorites for this game.
Yeah, no doubt. And then Golden State taking on Houston and Toyota Center. Yeah, I'm going to pick Golden State. Houston's been on a hot streak a little bit, but I don't think it continues against Golden State. It's on the road, but I'm still going to pick Golden State.
Yeah, I'm going to go a bit different on this one. I really don't feel super confident about this one, but I'm going to go out and take Houston. I'm going to take Houston just because they're in the Toyota Center. Golden State, for some reason, they got problems going on the road. Houston's 5-5 in their last 10, so they've actually been getting some wins under their belt. Golden State, bro, I'm not too sure about them right now. I think this is going to be another good performance by the Rockets. And Warriors, I think they're going to fall apart again. I'm going to take the Rockets in this one. That's pretty.
Next game.
I'm not so confident taking a team that's like 15 and what's their record?
We're 18 and 52.
18 and 52. Yeah, I'm not so confident taking that team, but I'm gonna take them. I think it's actually gonna be one of those games where they actually pull out a win.
All right. Then our next game, Dallas and Memphis. I already know you're gonna pick Dallas. I'll go a little different here. I'll take Memphis without Ja.
All right. Yeah, you already know how I'm going.
Yeah. All right. Then the final game of the night, it'll be Sacramento taking on Utah. They're playing Salt Lake City, but I'm still going to take Sacramento. I think De'Aaron Fox bounces back. He had a tough game. They won on Saturday without him playing very good. I think he has a bounce-back game here. Sabonis has another good game. I'm picking Sacramento over Utah.
Yeah, I like Sacramento in this game, too. They've been one of the top teams in the West all year. And Utah's, they're like a 10, 11 spot type of team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna have to take Sacramento on this one.
All right. Well, that's the end of our NBA portion of the show. We're going to go into some of the NFL news. Not much NFL news, but there still is some. So the biggest thing that happened today was Dallas Cowboys trading for Brandon Cooks. Let me get the compensation right here. It was for a 2023 fifth and the 2024 sixth. It was essentially what they traded for, what's his name when they traded Amari Cooper? It was basically the flip-flop. Yeah, I'd probably take Amari Cooper right now.
It was like a 5th-round pick, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably take Amari Cooper still over Brandon Cooks. But Amari Cooper's still making more money because I believe the Texans ate some of the money from this contract. I believe they ate $6 million. 12 mil. Still solid money for Brandon Cooks to be making. Oh, he's not making 12 mil. He's making 18 mil still, but it's like 6 mil from the Texans, 12 mil from the Cowboys. Yeah. But it was like, but the Texans had to eat some of the money up. Yeah, because Brandon Cooks, he's had, I believe, like 5 1,000-yard seasons of his career. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, he's actually been traded 4 times in his career. That's tied for the most times since 1982. The only one that has it's tied with him is Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson's the only other player that's been traded 4 times. So yeah.
God.
Yeah, I don't know why Brandon Cooks can't stay on the team that long, but yeah. The Patriots traded him after 1 year.
Yeah, he's a quality receiver, bro. But for some reason, every team just likes to get a first-round pick out of him. I mean, but at first he was getting traded for like a bunch of first. I'm pretty sure the first 2 times he went from New Orleans, where was it, to New England for like a first.
Yeah, for first, and he got traded
for like a first
to the Rams, and then to the Rams traded him to the Texans for like a third, I think.
I think that one was like a second.
Oh, second? Oh yeah, it might have been second.
And then, but that's probably his lowest his trade value has been this whole time.
Yeah,
I feel like the last few times it was probably because his trade value was so high, so they felt like they're getting a good return. But now
he's coming off.
It's the exact opposite.
Yeah, he's coming off the worst year of his career. Yeah, there's factors to that. Still, that's still a big factor though. That's probably why he got traded for a little bit less. And his contract as well. His contract's probably a big reason why Texans have to eat some of the money up. He's still going to be a solid receiver. He doesn't have to be the number 1 receiver right now. He's number 2. Yeah, probably the number 2 to CeeDee Lamb and then Gallup in the 3rd. That was a pretty good move for the Cowboys, especially since they didn't have to take on the whole contract. Yeah, I was a little scared that they were going to get Hopkins. I'm relieved about Hopkins. Yeah, Cooks. I haven't seen OBJ play, so I'm still going to go with Cooks right now. But I didn't want OBJ, my favorite player of all time, to play with the star in his helmet, so I'm fine. I'm happy with that. I was really scared about them getting Hopkins because Hopkins, to me, would have been nasty for the Cowboys to get Hopkins. But okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with them not having Hopkins. Brandon Cooks is still good. It's probably the second best receiver they could have gotten out of the 3. But yeah, I just didn't want Hopkins to get there. So I'm happy. It seemed like Hopkins was going to land there for a little bit. But okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm good there. I'm good right now. Yeah, it's still a solid move for the Cowboys. They also got Gilmore earlier. We talked about that in, like 2 episodes ago. They got Gilmore as well. Another solid move.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid.
Gilmore is still a great player too, bro. Yeah. I don't think people realize this because he's been getting traded. Like he went from New England to Carolina, then from Carolina to Indy, and then now from Indy to Dallas. So I don't think people like actually realize how good this man still is. But bro, the reason why the Colts aren't the number 1 pick right now is because Stephon Gilmore is that good, bro. Like he single-handedly won us that game against Denver. I don't know if you guys saw that. I can't blame you if you didn't want to watch that game, bro. That was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life. But the only reason why we didn't win that one, why we actually won that one, is because Stephon Gilmore locked up when we needed him the most. At the time, it was a good win. I was happy about it, but it cost us a number 1 pick. And against the Raiders, too. We locked up against the Raiders. That was one of our wins. So the only reason why we're not number 1 right now is because of Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore is still a number 1. He's still a number 1 corner in this league. I don't care what anybody says. People who haven't watched him, I can't blame you. I don't see who would have wanted to watch the Colts last year. But as one of the few guys who actually still watch the Colts, I can tell you he's still an elite defender in this game. So people try to compare him to like Richard Sherman in Tampa. I don't know what the hell these people are talking about. This bro is still good. He's still one of the top players in this league. The only reason why he's getting traded, it's just a fit, bro. Like, if I was Stephon Gilmore, I wouldn't want to be in this Colts team right now either. He went there thinking he was going to contend, and they ended up winning 4 games. I would want to go to a contender too.
Yeah. Richard Sherman on the Bucs is like a terrible comparison. Yeah, he's still a very good corner in the NFL. He's probably not in the top 10 range anymore. He could be in top 10, maybe bottom, maybe like that lower range. He's still a very good corner.
I'll still take him top 10, bro. Like around that 6 to 10 range still. It's still probably like around that area.
Yeah, no, he's not terrible. He's still pretty good. I don't know why they're comparing him to Richard Sherman in Tampa. Richard Sherman in Tampa is basically the last year of his career. He's not there. Gilmore's coming close to the end of his career because he's getting pretty old, but it's not. Yeah, he's not.
He's nowhere near that level, though. God.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. Yeah, that was a solid move by the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been making solid moves. Yeah, Brandon Cooks, another nice move. They could probably still stay with the Houston teams. Oh, yeah, Houston team, obviously. There's only one Houston team. Texans, they also re-signed Laremy Tunsil. It was I don't know why they were trying to trade him in the first place. It was a pretty bad decision to even do that. Because Laremy Tunsil is like one of the top 3 tackles in the NFL. It's probably in no order. It's him, Trent Williams, and Andrew Thomas. Not in an order. but that's like them. Them three are probably the top three tackles right now in the NFL. They were the highest graded by PFF last year. So yeah, he got paid 3 years over $75 million. Yeah, this is like his second payday already, and now he's the highest paid tackle in NFL history. He has a good agency, man. Whoever his agent is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're making money too because they get money from his contracts. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the highest paid tackle last time he got paid, and he's the highest paid tackle again, and he got paid this time.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Goddamn. I mean, Texans traded 2 first-round picks for him, so I mean, they better be getting something out of him. I mean, yeah. They better be getting they better be getting a long tenure out of him. I mean, you saw what Miami got out of him from that trade.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Texans even try to shop him because it's good to have he's like a top 3 tackle in the NFL. It's good to have him with a rookie quarterback. Yeah. Especially
if you got a rookie QB coming in, especially a guy like Bryce Young, you want to make sure he has that blind side protected. You don't want him getting crushed by a guy like Myles Garrett, bro, and he can't even see it.
Yeah, it's good to have one. That's what left tackle is one of the most important positions in football, especially for a right-handed quarterback. So it's good to have him locked up, especially if he's a top 3 at his position. The only thing I'm scared now is that if Andrew Thomas plays again like the way he did last year, he's gonna get a fucking even more money than him because he got $25 million. I mean, Andrew Thomas is gonna get 26 or 27 million. Because Andrew Thomas is very young. He's 24 years old. He's gonna want money. That's the only thing that worries me that we're gonna be paying out. I'm fine with paying him that much money, but it's like that's a lot of money still.
That's almost a lot.
Yeah, that's like almost $30 million for a left tackle. But it's important still. Left tackle is one of the. It's good to have the left tackle locked up already, especially he's top 3 at this position. So yeah.
Yeah.
And we can stay in the AFC South with Kevin Byard. They asked him to take a pay cut. He didn't want to, so he might either get traded or cut. He's still a very good safety. He had 4+ interceptions in the last 5 seasons. So I can understand why he doesn't want to take a pay cut because he's still top level of his position. So yeah, he's one of the best safeties in the league still.
So what? Tennessee's just trying to get him to like restructure his deal or what?
No, they want him to take a pay cut. Like they want him to take less money.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Damn. Well.
Yeah.
And a reconstruction would be just.
Yeah, a restructure would be like if they just like push the money, or they give them, if they push the money forward, or they like what is it called, or they just give it to him in guaranteed money or something. That's the only way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But they just don't want him. They just want to take money out of his contract and not give it to him at all. That's what they want to do.
Damn.
Yeah.
You think some other team will give it to him?
I could see it. Probably. There's probably a lot of teams that can use a safety like him. He's pretty good still. So, I could see him. He's probably going to get traded. I don't think they're going to cut him. He's too good to get cut. Because it's not like he's in his down years or anything. He's like 31 or 32, but he's still a very solid safety. So, more likely, he'll probably be traded, if anything. I don't think
you can still use him.
Yeah. It seems like the Titans are probably going to keep him. So I don't know. So yeah, that was another big move right there, and another safety that got signed. He was he was one of my favorite guys in the Giants. Julian Love signing a 2-year deal worth $12 million with the Seahawks. Seahawks have a very solid safety core. I don't understand what they're going to do with 5 safeties, but they have like 4 safeties actually. They got Jamal Adams. They got Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Ryan Neal. I don't know if you know him. He's a pretty solid safety still. And they got Julian Love.
Now you got damn.
I think Julian Love's going to probably have to play slot cornerback. He played that position in college a lot. He was a cornerback in college, but he got moved to safety when he got to the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably going to have to play in the slot because there's no way you're going to run for – because, he's probably going to have to run like Quandre Diggs and Ryan Neal in the safety spots and then Jamal Adams, a linebacker. That's really what Jamal Adams is best at doing.
Yeah, I forgot that Jamal Adams was on that team.
Yeah, and then Julian Love will probably have to play a slot corner. He has a pretty solid safety. Only thing he's a good run defender, but his pass coverage is pretty. It's okay. I remember there's a couple plays against Philadelphia where he got cooked. So, yeah, I don't know how good he's going to be at slot cornerback because he's not that good of a pass coverage because slot cornerback is basically playing the slot. You're going to get sent on blitzes a little bit too, but you're not really going to be a run defender in the slot. You have to play pass coverage. That's the only worry I have about that. So yeah, that's the only worry I have about him. But he's a pretty solid safety right there. He's getting paid more than Jordan Poyer though. Jordan Poyer only got paid I believe his cap is only $3 million. So yeah, it's pretty bad for Jordan
Yeah.
Poyer. I don't know what Jordan
Didn't-
Poyer's agents were doing, man.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to stay in Buffalo, really, didn't he?
Yeah, it had to be.
That was like the main thing. Because I tell you, he even put out like some statement, like he was complaining about the New York taxes. So not only is he getting paid a little, but he's gonna get half of it taken away from the state its own.
Yeah.
You know, so he's not even gonna really get too much.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get a big payday. Because especially Jesse Bates got a big payday, and Jordan Poyer's an all-pro safety. So yeah,
I
it's
think
like
Jordan Poyer is probably better than him right now.
yeah. But I saw a report that some people think he can only play cover 2, and that really limits what defense you can call with him in there. So I guess that's another reason why he just didn't have as big of a market as people thought he was gonna have. So yeah,
I guess, but
yeah, that's got to be the reason why he got paid. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like that's a little bit of money. He's getting paid less than money than Julian Love. I'm not slandering Julian Love, but Julian Love's not an all-pro safety.
Jordan Poyer is still better, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And then Chicago made some more moves here. They got we talked about it a little bit, but we didn't really go that much into it. They signed some offensive guys right here, more depth guys. Well, I guess Devontae Foreman can play as their starter. He signed a 1-year, $3 million. Deontay Foreman and Robert Tonyan signed a 1-year deal as well. Robert Tonyan's probably it's a nice mixture right there. He'll probably still be the secondary guy to Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet's probably still a little bit better. He's a solid run blocker and a solid pass catcher, so obviously he's probably still the starter there. And Deontay Foreman, he played really nice with Carolina last year. They lost David Montgomery, but they got this guy for cheap, $3 million, and they could probably still look to add a running back in the draft. You never know. They have a couple of picks they have a lot of picks in the draft, so yeah, it's another pretty solid move. Deontay Foreman's pretty good, a big power back right there. So maybe in the draft you go for like an elusive guy or a pass catcher, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good pickups for Chicago. I'd say they want to really build their weapons around Fields this season. And then, so now I feel like their focus will probably be shifted more towards the offensive line, especially now dropping back from number 1 to number 9. I feel like that's a prime position for an offensive tackle. You can continue to build that offense. And yeah, I mean, it's not like some elite level players right here. But I mean, it's some solid pickups. So, like Deontay Foreman's still a pretty good player. Last year was probably his best year. He wasn't the same player that many people expected coming out of Texas a few years ago. That he was supposed to be one of the top tier running backs in this league, but he's still shown that he could put up some numbers. He showed that in Carolina. Once they got rid of Christian McCaffrey and it was Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard, he was able to get it done. Both of them were able to get it done as a tandem. So this could work out pretty well for Chicago. If Deontay Foreman plays like how he did last year, it's going to be a pretty good pickup for them.
Yeah, and also I don't think we talked about it on Friday, or if we did, we just talked about it very lightly. It was Gardner Minshew signing with the Colts. Yeah, we
got that up.
Yeah. I'll just bring this up again. Solid quarterback to fill in for Levis, and in case you guys draft Levis or Richardson, so they don't have to start automatically.
Yeah, that's a good thing. He's only getting paid $3 million too, so it's not like he's getting starter money right there. Thank God.
Yeah. And oh, you can go ahead.
Oh no, nothing. I was just gonna say that he's also staying with Shane Steichen too. That's probably one of the big reasons why he decided to come to Indy, because he was with Steichen the past 2 years in Philadelphia. Now he gets to continue staying with him. So that's probably a big reason why. There's some familiarity right there. And yeah, it helps serve kind of like as a bridge, so that way Anthony Richardson or Will Levis won't have to start right away. That's mainly what I'm getting out of it, bro. Is that for sure this pick is probably going to be a QB, or else they wouldn't bring in Gardner Minshew, especially on a $3 million deal. They're not going to pay Gardner Minshew $3 million to be the full-time starter. Yeah, that's not happening. So what this really means is they're taking a QB. They need a solid veteran, either to be a backup or kind of like a bridge until either Richardson, Levis, maybe Stroud falls, maybe Bryce falls, but they have a guy there, so that way the rookie wouldn't have to start right away. Pretty much what it tells me.
Yeah, as a solid backup and a solid starter if you need him to start.
Yeah.
especially with a rookie quarterback. And the Patriots, they made some moves as well. They released Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills is a big part of that Eagles team, the Eagles Super Bowl team that won a couple years ago. He can play in the slot, and he can play. He's in the safety role. I was surprised they cut him. I thought he would stay there a little bit longer, maybe another year there. They chose Jabril Peppers over him because they re-signed Jabril Peppers on a 2-year deal. So yeah, Jalen Mills can still provide for her team. Maybe he goes back to Philly because Philly doesn't have safe. Philly might lose Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, so you never know.
Oh yeah. No. Was CJ Gardner-Johnson? I'm pretty sure he's not getting the money that he's looking for right now. Because didn't he just put out like some kind of tweet like the disrespect is real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was expecting, bro. I didn't think teams were gonna pay him $20 million a year.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody was gonna pay him that. So
yeah, right now I'm pretty sure the only two teams that are really giving him interest are Philadelphia and Denver. I could see him going back to Philadelphia, maybe like I think he'll probably sign like a 1-year deal and try to get more money next year. I still think he wants his big payday.
Yeah,
so I can see him re-signing 1 year, or maybe if Denver is really desperate to pay him that much money. They could also because I believe Denver still has enough money to make another big move. Because they signed the McGlinchey and Ben Powers, but they have enough money. They freed up enough money, so
yeah. Some players on defense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then Mike Gesicki signing a 1-year deal with the Dolphins. I mean, with the Patriots, worth $9 million. That's all it's tight end. Yeah, it's him and Hunter Henry are basically the same thing. It doesn't. Mike Gesicki really lost his role with the Dolphins because of Waddle and Tyreek Hill. They basically took all the targets away. Obviously they were going to take all the targets away, but yeah, it was good for him to move on. He could probably have a bounce back year, maybe in New England's offense. I don't know how big of a year he's going to have because he's still playing next to Hunter Henry. It's just another solid receiving option for the Patriots to have. Patriots are still in on Hopkins though, so if they add Hopkins, they'll probably have a dangerous receiving core. They'll have Hopkins, Juju. They still have Kendrick Bourne, solid receiver, and Hunter Henry and what's his name, Mike Gesicki, and they still have Ramondre Stevenson. So it's solid weapons. I don't know how competitive they're going to be in that division, but
they'll probably still finish last. But
yeah, they can still I guess all 4 teams in the AFC East can make the playoffs. It's highly, I doubt it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because the Patriots team will still be pretty good. Because not like they're not terrible. They have a pretty good defense still. They probably have to add a left tackle in the draft. That's probably the number one need. The number one need for them right now. Because they signed some guy, but it was really it wasn't really too big of a signing. It was like a 3-year, $12 million deal. I forgot his name. He was a Broncos left tackle. He used to be, but that's really not gonna do anything for you. So, but it's been a solid receiving options for them. I believe I have one more signing. It's not probably up here, but the Steelers, they signed the guard Isaac Samulu. I don't know how to say his last name. He was the right guard. Yeah, from Philly. He signed a 3-year, $24 million deal. So that was a pretty solid move. Pittsburgh needed some more help on their D-line. Not D-line, O-line.
Their O-line, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it helps Najee Harris become better at it. It's not really going to help him be a bit better decision maker, because right now he's not a good decision maker. So hopefully it helps him. Hopefully, you never know. Yeah, but the O-line improves. I believe they got James Daniels last year from the Bears. They signed him, so they're trying to improve their O-line. So yeah, that's really all the news that we have for the NFL. Well, we can talk about OBJ for a little bit. Where do you think OBJ's landing spot is now? Because last episode you said the Cowboys, but now I don't think the Cowboys are going to get him anymore.
Yeah, I saw the Jets and the Cowboys, so the Cowboys get taken out. I can see him ending up with the Jets still.
Yeah, right now mine is still probably the Chiefs. I still think he lands. Right now, I can see I think the Chiefs are either going to get OBJ, DeAndre Hopkins, to be honest with you. So,
man, yeah.
Travis Kelce said he wants to play with OBJ before. He said it publicly, so the Bills too. The Bills might be sneaky because the Bills, they're not being talked about as much.
The Bills would make sense too. I could see him going to the Bills.
He had dinner with Josh Allen when they met the first time in November.
Yeah.
And he's also good friends with Von Miller. And Von Miller's coming back for another season. He's like best friends with Von Miller, so yeah. I could also see that one. But
I can see him going to the Bills. Actually, yeah, that one actually makes really good sense. It was talked
Yeah,
about a lot last year when the Bills were like the Super Bowl favorites and everybody was just handing them the Super Bowl trophy for no apparent reason at all. But now they're kind of more under the radar. I guess after that loss to Cincinnati in the playoffs, people aren't taking them as seriously as they did last season. They're on the same hype train that they were on last season. So I could definitely see him signing with the Bills. But I think ultimately at the end it's gonna be the Jets. He's gonna want to team up with Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna want to do it in New York. He didn't want to do it in Green Bay, but he'll do it in New York.
yeah. I just don't think the Jets are gonna pay him the money that he needs. I still think he wants 15 mil. I think that 15 mil range is still where he wants. I think he's like firm at least that. I don't think he's gonna get 20 mil, but I think somebody's gonna pay him 15 mil. I just don't see
At
the
least
Jets.
15.
I don't know. The Jets haven't seemed as aggressive as the other teams are. To me, the Chiefs and the Cowboys seem like they were the most aggressive teams, and the Cowboys already got the receiver.
Yeah.
Because most of these, most of these reports, like they come from Jordan Schultz. I trust Jordan Schultz. He's not like Ian Rappaport, or Adam Schefter, but he's like one of the guys I trust the most. And the last time he said the Chiefs and the Cowboys were really the teams that were in on him, along with the Ravens. But I don't see him picking the Ravens.
Yeah.
So right now, I probably see the Chiefs.
It just leaves the Chiefs for you.
I can see the Jets. The Jets are there too. Other sneaky team is the Giants, because the Giants, they actually freed up more money because they restructured Darren Waller's money, and they also restructured what's his name? Oh, I forgot. Oh, they structured Bobby Okariki's contract. They changed it because before it was going to be 10 mil this year, and they lowered it to 4. So I don't know.
Oh, for real?
So now they
so
freed
he
up
signed and then they restructured it after?
Yeah, they changed it. Oh, it was because at first the report came out that his salary cap hit this year was 12 mil, but then it came out again that it was actually 4. So now they actually have more money. So
what, they moved it to the back?
Yeah, it's like 12 mil next year, 11 mil after that, and like 12 mil again. It was something like that.
Okay.
So it's not as bad. But yeah, I'm not saying they're gonna get him. I don't know if it would be smart to get him. I'm just bringing him up as a dark horse. That could happen. He has ties with him. He's friends with Saquon and Sterling Shepard. He even tweeted to Saquon. Yeah, but the Chiefs, I probably still put the Chiefs and the Jets over them. But it's just a dark horse. Even the Bills probably. But yeah, those are probably the landing spots OBJ will likely end up in. All right, that was probably it's probably the end of the NFL talk today. You want to talk about a little bit about the fight that happened last night between Usman and Edwards?
Yeah, so I kind of disrespected Leon in the last episode. I said that he was going to get manhandled. I thought that it was going to be a repeat of the second fight, minus a head kick. But Leon definitely proved me wrong, right? I don't necessarily agree with the judges only giving 1 round to Usman. I mean, there was one judge that gave it a 47-47. That was kind of like around where I had it. I don't think Usman only won 1 round. I mean, the other judges had it 48-46. And that was with a point deduction too, bro. So you mean to tell me that Kamaru only won 1 round? I think that was some BS. The fight was a lot closer than that. And I'd say I really could have seen it going either way. But I'd say Leon got his credit where it's due, man. He proved that last win wasn't a fluke, and he could hold his own as a champion. However, the man next up, though, Colby Covington, I mean, Dana White already confirmed it himself. Colby Covington is next in line for that welterweight championship, and I think Colby takes him down, bro. I'm still disrespecting Leon again, but I think Colby takes him down. If I'm being completely honest, Colby, I mean, it seemed like Leon was kind of trying to get out of a fight with Colby, but in my opinion, I'd say Colby really could be champ right now. He could have scored that second fight with Usman either way, but Usman ended up getting the win right there. So yeah, Colby believes dead in his heart that he won that fight, but I mean, you can't let that go to the judges. I think, yeah, Leon's time is coming to an end, unfortunately. The only reason why Colby wasn't the champion is because of Kamaru Usman. For some reason, he couldn't get past that man, but there's a new champion in town, and the happiest man about that is Colby Covington. I think he takes down Leon Edwards, and it's going to be very entertaining. For those of you who don't know who Colby is, you're going to want to watch the press conferences. He's one of the most entertaining fighters out there. One of the most hated guys. You're either going to love this man from listening to him or you're going to hate him. But probably the second best welterweight in the world right now, and he could take over as a champion coming soon. But I give Leon his credit for that last fight yesterday down at the UK.
All right. Well, that wraps up the 11th episode of the Playmaker Pod. Thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe. See you guys next time.
All right, bet. Peace out.